Howdy, internets! It's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain for the first time ever tonight. This is take two. If you're with us on Twitch and you're sticking around, thank you. Special shout out to Hawkmere, who let us know that there was no audio on top of all the other issues. But here we are. You can hear us now. And I'm going to do an abbreviated introduction, turn it over to our historian, Ricky, and we are going to start playing. This is, of course, our Mythos Investigators Call of Cthulhu game, Lawlerville, an original Call of Cthulhu scenario by Ricky. Tonight's episode is called The Great Cosmic River. It is episode 4, and we will get into a little bit of a recap and get things going here in just a moment. Real quick reminder, look up here, you can see the Mythos dice, which are a way that you, the audience, can have a little bit of an influence on what happens in our game simply by tipping $5, cheering 500 bits, or by subscribing, resubscribing, gifting subs, all those sorts of things. We can use these in game to call for rolls on the Mythos table where nothing good ever happens, and yet we still decide to roll on it. Let's see what else. Be sure to type in exclamation point schedule to see what we have going on the rest of the week on our channel. Normally this game is on the second Wednesday of the month. Of course, it is neither the second Wednesday nor a Wednesday. It is Saturday night, but we're here, and that's what matters. This is the second time I've did it, and I'm trying to remember everything I did. I'm just going to cut to the chase. The two important final announcements are: one, this is a horror game played by adults. You may encounter adult language, adult situations, just very graphic descriptions of horror scenarios and other things. Rest assured that we have safety tools in place to protect ourselves, that we have discussed our own lines and veils, and we are using those safety tools. But if you should hear something that it doesn't agree with you, or you need to just excuse yourself, by all means, click away, watch something else, go play a game, do whatever else. We will not be offended. You've got to take care of yourself. Speaking of mental health, we want to remind you that you matter. Your presence on this earth makes a difference, whether you believe it or not. It is true. Sometimes we struggle. It is okay to struggle. It's okay to not be okay, but you do not have to struggle alone. At any point in time while you're here with us, you can type into our chat exclamation point help, and a couple of URLs will pop up. They'll also be going across the bottom of the screen as well. Those are findahelpline.com, or you can check out takethis.org's growing list of resources. We encourage you to check out those websites, bookmark them, save them for yourself, save them for a friend, and remember, you matter. With that, I'm going to turn things over to our historian, the master of our terror, Ricky.
All right. I was tempted to do a gag, like me pausing, like, and then seeing if you guys were like, oh, but then I was like, you know what? We don't tempt the things that just punished us for the last 45 minutes of our lives.
The most traumatizing thing of this game is the tech issues.
Technical issues.
Yes.
The fourth wall is killing us.
Oh, God. No.
Correct. So, I mean, let's kind of do a, typically recaps our monologue. Let's kind of do like a group thing. What do we all remember about what's happened lately? Let's do the best we can.
I shot a guy in the face.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Who'd you shoot in the face again? It was
I don't remember his name.
Yeah, you can make one up at Hawk.
It was like a person that you knew.
Somebody
you knew.
It was like the garbage, not the garbage, like the bagger
He ran
or something.
Bagger from the supermarket.
Yeah.
Didn't the gravity get all wonky at one point? And like
Yep.
it was like I remember Fender and I like got like crushed off to one side, didn't we? And we were
Yeah.
kind of helping each
Mhm.
other out, mainly Fender
Yeah.
helping me.
There was like
Mhm.
disco
Oh, yeah.
disco light strobing. It was supposed to be a press conference.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right.
that's of types, right?
I,
And then
I,
you
I
had
ripped a big giant thing out of my hand and watched it devour some
Oh, I
of
forgot
the
about the
Oh,
handworm
God. Yes. Hashtag
Yeah.
or
Insta.
hand eels or whatever it was.
yeah.
I went after, not supernaturally, I went after frickin' Steve's sister,
Mhm.
trying to get a story, trying to get
Mhm.
my 15 minutes.
Okay.
got more than you
did-
bargained for.
Yeah. Did we escape
Yeah,
the
we
gymnasium?
yeah, we got out of the community center, and
Mhm.
at the very end, Fender, do you remember your arc there?
Yeah. Yeah, we did make it back to the cab.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, at least outside in the parking lot.
Right, right.
I can help.
Yeah, no, I'm probably remembering something from the previous session, not the last.
It's fine. Yeah, I mean, whatever we can remember is good to go, you know? So, like, there was a scene where at the very last scene, everybody walked out of the community center,
Mhm.
and the sky above is just a giant black, like, ocean or river. There's no tenable sky. And it references back to when Fender was a baby, and his occultist father or some type, and they did a ritual, in which case the same sky was above when that ritual was happening to Fender. And all the
Right.
cultists were self-sacrificing at the moment in which the authorities raided the compound and his father and the baby escaped. That was the last kind of scene of that episode. Let's go one episode back in time before that. That's episode 3. Do you remember episode 2? That one's gonna be a little bit harder, right? Because that's what
Yeah, I remember number 1 with the bridge.
Let's
I
talk about number 1.
remember.
All
I
the pregnant women going on the bridge and then trying
Yeah.
to kill themselves, and then
There you
these
go.
Yeah.
bubblegum tentacles.
There you go. Bubblegum
know-
tentacles is stuck with us. Yeah.
You're
My
changing
news-
everything.
My news crew, one of them murdered the other one, and then I think I ran over
Just
the
ran
other
over 'em, yeah.
with
Yeah,
the
and
with the
drove through.
van,
Yeah.
and then I ended up in the middle of nowhere with the van,
Mhm.
and then having memories of me and Trinity. Is that
Trinity,
what we
correct.
and
Yeah.
like that there, and then like a memory erasey type thing,
Mhm.
and
Good.
yeah, but there's like government agents involved and something. Yes, I remember that. That's
This
what
is
I
good.
remember.
Hawthorne, what about the do you remember your sister and the woman coming to the house in the daytime, and while your sister's giving you the deed to the house and the keys and everything, and that whole exchange? Do you remember that? And the woman coming to the house looking for your sister, and then when she was still in the shower or whatever, she kind of just said, okay, fine, I'll talk to her later, walked away the street. And then that woman that same woman showing up at the community center, walking out of the encompassing darkness. And then, okay, you remember something? Yeah, go ahead, go.
I don't.
I remember that
Mhm.
woman, because she was like sticking in my brain because she's creepy. I just remember also Brock being shady as fuck.
Yeah, Brock kind of dipped out on everybody because the vigilant citizen came in during episode 2 at the very end to tell everybody what's going on. As soon as the vigilant citizen came in, that's when everything went dark and everyone started getting ripped away into darkness. Yeah.
Yes, ensued.
Okay. All right. I mean, we got the major beats. I mean, we can go through a more organized bullet point if it's needed, but I think we got the general tone of everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and let's kick it off. Jake, go ahead and cue the magical stuff we need, and then we'll get started.
There you go.
All right. Detective Karppi, you are standing in a field. There is a car that is on fire. It is about 40 yards away from you. It's 98 Chevy Lumina, and the car is completely engulfed in flames. To the point where you can feel the flames, even though you can feel the ambient heat from the flames, even though you're 30 yards away from it. Who was in that car? In the trunk of that car?
Ooh.
Oh no. Who's in the trunk of the car? Oh. um. It was my husband. My husband was in the trunk of the car.
Fuck! Oh! Coming in at an 11.
Wow. Now that you shocked me.
Yes!
You shocked the
Ricky,
person that
roll
does the
for
shocking.
sanity.
Yeah, I gotta throw some stuff out here.
Keep a
My
roll for
goodness.
sanity.
Okay.
Damn. Fuck yeah.
How do you feel in this moment?
I feel helpless. I feel worthless, really. Like, I can't do anything. And I was trying to save him, and I got here too late.
Wow.
Oh.
I think at this point, like, Karppi is so shocked, so angry and hurt. Like, she's feeling all of the emotions, so much so that she is frozen in place. What can she do?
What is the message they're trying to send to you?
Back off. No one is safe. We will come and get you.
As the fumes of the car kind of, with the gasoline and all the fumes that are involved in the chemicals, you can smell a distinguishable hint of bacon. And we all know what that smell represents, of the burning flesh of the person inside of the car amidst everything else. I need 3 d20 rolls.
From anybody or from?
No, from
Kaeryn?
Karppi.
A 2, a
Mhm.
6,
Mhm.
and an 11.
It's been 11 days since you went on your leave of absence instead of a suspension from your over investigation. What was the next number?
6.
6? It's been 6 days since you started tracking and stalking the suspect that you pretty much believe is guilty, that everyone told you to back off on. What was the last number?
2.
It's been 2 days since your husband begged you to stop and asked you to come home. And that was the last time you spoke to him.
Oh.
When you, well, what do you do in this moment?
Fall to my knees in this field. At this moment, it's just, the guilt is just racking through my body. I should have listened to you. I should have stopped. This is all my fault. This is all my fault.
You put your face in your hands as you feel the racking sobs take over. And when you pull your hands away from your face, you are in an instantaneous moment of memory to present, on your knees in front of the community center, looking at everyone around you. Give me a quick sanity check.
That's
Yep,
a
you're
really
mid-
bad
you-
roll. I rolled
yeah.
a 98. So I
That's big.
failed.
That's spectacularly bad. Yeah, absolutely.
That's so bad.
It's like though, not quite the worst, but almost.
Give me a 1d4.
Oh, shit. We're using a lot of wacky dice tonight, Ricky.
Three.
A lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
not hundreds.
Mm-hmm. 3. Okay. We're gonna lose 3 points of sanity, and for the entire session, have you ever had invasive thoughts?
Oh yes.
Oh,
Your invasive thoughts are your primary thoughts, and your reasonable thoughts are your invasive thoughts. So for the entire session, I want you to do the most violent first thing that comes to your mind,
Oh no.
and we will roll a willpower check to see if you can do better.
oh my God.
Our scene opens with you on your knees, hands, face and palm, crying, and as you pull your hands away and look around, are you looking to the left or the right?
Left.
Left. Which player character is on Karppi's left? Doesn't matter. Anybody can pick.
I'll go next.
Okay.
I got you. Tag me in, Kaeryn.
What does Detective Karppi see as she looks at you today? in this moment?
I guess, I mean, so like so we had escaped.
You just got out
Right?
the front door of the community
Just
center.
got out the front door. So Rebecca looks very like harried. I would say she's probably sweaty and like she's kind of trying to like maintain composure, but clearly really struggling. Any sound that we hear is met with like a pretty violent jump. And she's sticking very, very close to Fender as we are making our way towards presumably the cab to get the hell away from here. I imagine like her clothes are disheveled. She had like a blazer on that she has since lost, so she's just wearing like the tank top she had on underneath. Hair is just a sight. Yeah, that's what you see.
Okay, and Fender, I'm assuming you're next to Rebecca Worth. What does
Yeah.
Karppi see if she looks at you?
He is currently sort of staying low, trying to. He's looking sort of back and forth across the ground, and this, sort of definitively not looking up. And he is he looks like he's deep in thought. It's like he's trying to work out a puzzle in his head. as he's sort of looking back and forth at the ground. And those near him might hear him whisper something like, "I think, therefore I am. I think, therefore I am."
Nice.
I hear that for sure.
Yeah.
What do you
It's
think
all
about?
equally weird.
It's all equally weird. Is how you feel
It's
about
all
it?
equally weird at this point, so I think he's probably just like self-soothing, and it doesn't bother me after what we just saw. So, yeah.
If Hawthorne looks to her right and if Karppi looks to her right and sees Hawthorne, what is Hawthorne looking like, and what is Hawthorne doing?
I have my hands in my pockets, having shoved the pistol or the revolver into my pocket. I don't remember if I expended all the ammunition in the last session. If not, there was only 1 or 2 left. But I'm shoving that quickly into my pocket, and I am standing almost completely stone still, or if we're moving minimally, and I'm doing this thing where I'm very clearly looking around.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not like this. I'm not looking all around it. You can almost see that I'm moving my eyes as little as possible, and it's almost like I'm straining to pull in as much from my peripheral.
Mm-hmm.
These are the actions of a soldier who is trying to not to be too obvious, trying not to give away a position while trying to notice anything out of the ordinary. And probably in a similar fashion, the Fender is sort of under my breath, just barely audible, muttering the third general order that every soldier learns of their 3 general orders. Under my breath, I will report violations of my special orders, emergencies, and anything not covered in my instructions to the commander of the relief. Like, just emphasizing the irony.
How's your hand doing? The one that misfired the gun and got all mangled. That, as I recall, looks like cigarettes inside of an ashtray. That's somewhat like your fingers look like.
Yeah, I think one of the last things we mentioned was Deckard after running into Roy in the near the ending of Blade Runner.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know, because my hand's jammed in my pocket. That would draw attention. So I'm probably also contributing to the fact that while standing there stoically looking around, I'm also probably very, very, very pale.
Very pale. Great. Give me a quick willpower check.
Absolutely. What's my willpower? That's just power?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or is there a separate one?
Yep. No, it's just power. Yep.
Okay, let's see. Here we go. That is a 17, which is a...
Oh, that's a strong success.
Yeah, it's a, hard success?
Yeah, that's a hard success.
Yeah.
Tell me how you deal with the pain and keep your composure.
I think the pain... So while my hand is inside my pocket, fair warning, I'm going to get a little descriptive. While my hand is in my pocket and I'm holding onto the metal and rubber of this firearm, and as a method of trying to ground myself, using the pain to remind myself this is all real, while my hand is in my pocket, I am placing each finger in the trigger well and pressing it against my body and using that as leverage to relocate each of my fingers. I still don't know. Are you doing
this right now?
What's that?
Are you doing this right now?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
What is your survival or medical trait on your sheet?
Let's find out. Let's see, because I know I put points into those. So survival I have is a lot higher than my medicine.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 40 in my survival. Military survival specified. Okay. I have an 11 in my medicine.
Okay. Let's add them together.
Okay.
And let's go ahead and roll on that number. That's the nicest thing I'm going to do this whole session.
All right. So, regardless of how nice you're trying to be, I rolled a 95.
Wow. Tell me about how awful that goes for you. You can put your fingers back into their respective sockets. There will be a penalty for it. Or you can eat the 95 and fail and leave your fingers as they are and take a 40% hit on any dexterity check for the rest of the session that involves hands.
Again, because I think as I narrated, I'm using the pain to ground myself. The fact that I'm not, what I'm attempting to do blind is, I probably know that it's not working because it hurts. Probably in some cases it hurts more. I will take the dexterity hit and do a really bad job. I imagine I probably break one or two of the fingers in the process of trying to do this, or dislocate it worse, if that's even a thing.
Give me 1d4. I need it right now.
Where's my d4?
As this
There
is
it is.
popping, and what you guys all audibly
3.
hear, it sounds like someone cracking celery in their pockets. Cracking celery stalks. You rolled a 3?
Mhm.
All right. Player decide. 3 hit points on damage or 3 sanity points taken away permanently.
I'll take the sanity damage.
So you don't, the pain in this circumstance, the pain grounds you, tethers you to your mortal coil, makes you feel that you exist in a place in time and space that actually makes sense. As you look up and you see this ominous green river that is so dark green that it looks black, and somehow these waves are crashing in horizontal and vertical fashion upon themselves without letting any water down upon everyone else. It sounds as if there is a herd of elephants softly walking across a field of drums. It doesn't sound like wave water crushing. It just sounds like an ominous beating of deep bass that's almost imperceptible to your ears. When you all walk outside and you feel the presence of this immense wave upon you, it feels like has anyone ever had a situation where someone said to them, I need to talk to you, and they were going to give you really awful news that was going to change your life in the next 30 seconds? That feeling you get before that news is delivered, that anticipation, that anxiety of just what is this going to be, is how the presence of this ocean in the sky feels upon you at all times. Emotionally, you feel as if anytime you shift your vision across the horizon from left or right, has anyone ever drawn one of those cube boxes on a piece of paper, the 3D box? You ever drew those as kids?
Obviously.
And if you stared at it long enough, you know how it shifts perspective, your mind shifts perspective from one angle to the other? That is every moment outside, as this ocean that has replaced the skies above you. You hear screams from the community center, from inside of it, as whoever's left inside you don't know what's happening inside of, whether they're getting pulled away, dragged down, dismembered, burned alive. You don't know. You hear racking screams and agony from everyone who's not outside where you're standing right now. A couple people burst through the doors behind you, and as soon as you glance, you see these writhing tentacles reach out from the darkness and pull them back inside of the community center. The community center begins to shake and begins to rumble as if an earthquake is underneath it. What do you all do?
I grab Fender by the front of his shirt and I'd be like, we need to get out of here. We need to get out of Lawlerville. We need to get away from Grand River. We need to go.
Agreed.
I want to
Now.
kill them all.
And I slowly
Creepy.
turn back to Fender with eyes
love
like
it.
saucers. And I'm like, now.
Yeah. Now is good.
I go, I don't know where he's parked. I just follow him.
Hawthorne, you with us? We're getting out of here.
Pop.
Oh,
Yes.
crack. Your sister Hawthorne, who is standing to the right of you, is looking around. In that, her expression on her face looks like she just figured out what was wrong in her math problem. And now she has the right answer. And she's simply saying, fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
I grab her hand with my left hand and start pulling her towards Fender's cab.
Everyone give me a quick sanity check.
Oh God.
He says like it's just a little thing.
Oh man, fail.
Oh wait, I did okay. Probably because I'm
Remind
not
me,
looking at the fucking sky.
Sanity, are you trying to go? You are trying to go below your sanity, right?
Yeah,
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, fail.
12.
Fail?
Fail.
Fail.
Yes.
Those who have failed until you can get into a shelter, the ominous presence of the ocean sky will cause a 1d4 sanity. Give me, everyone who failed, give me a quick d10 roll.
Oh,
Ugh,
7.
9.
9. All right. I will set a 9 and 7 is 16 divided by 2 is 8. I will set an 8-minute timer. Every 8 minutes, you will roll a 1d4 for sanity loss until you can get out of the presence.
Oh my God. Shit.
And that's going to start.
Is that a real life timer?
Right. It's a real life timer. So it doesn't matter if you guys chat in game or whatever. If we get off sidetrack, that's what the reality is.
It's a real life timer.
Starting now, 8 minutes. All right.
Wait,
Those who have passed.
We gotta go.
Yeah, Fender's is grabbing whoever is willing to move with him to the car. If anyone puts up any resistance, he's letting go because at this point, you know, he's done all. I think he's done all he can to save them at this point to do that.
How'd you do in your sanity check, Silas?
I did okay.
Okay.
I succeeded.
You passed. Okay, good.
And like I said, probably because I wasn't looking at the sky.
Yeah.
Why weren't you looking at the sky? We just can't gloss over why you weren't doing that.
Because he's been through enough shit where he knows he's trying to anchor his reality, and that's why he says, "I think, therefore I am," because it's the most basic, logical thing. It's really the only thing that we can know with absolute certainty. The only
that's the Descartes, right? That's Descartes.
Yeah. Because, you know, we could be a brain in a vat, we could be in a simulation. All of that could be true, but we still think, therefore we are. Yes. It supersedes everything else. It's the core.
You feel something in your mind reaching towards you. What do you do?
I throw a mental hand grenade at it. He's sort of tapping into the rage he has for what his father put him through at this point, and I think he's literally going to, you know, take this take this memory of his father and you know, sort of, you know, think about it, see it, and then take that almost like a ball of rage and just sort of pitch it over his shoulder as he's trying to move away from it.
Have you seen the Sistine Chapel? The picture that is there? You remember that? It's God
Classic.
reaching towards Adam, and Adam
is
kind of, God is reaching hard towards Adam with a intentionally pointed finger. But if you zoom in on Adam's finger, it's kind of like, meh, we're gonna pass on that.
I'm sure Michelangelo would be thrilled with that assessment.
If you look at it, I think
kind of meh.
Anyways, that is the feeling of something reaching out towards you in the way that God is reaching out to you to touch. And what you're doing right now is a meh. Give me a willpower check.
Sure. 66.
How'd you do on that? Ooh.
POW's 70, so success.
Well done.
Nice.
I will also call for willpower check to continue your grenades upon what is reaching into your mind when my timer's up.
Yeah, and as he's sort of pulling them, he's trying to sort of talk to the people around him, saying, "You ever see Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? Yeah. So you seen that?
Yeah.
Remember the end bit with the Ark being opened? It's like that. Don't close your eyes. Don't even look at it. Just or look at the ground if you need to not trip on anything, but don't look up."
People are spilling out of the community center, those who have not been taken, and when they run outside, some of them catch on fire, some of them fall to the ground with immense, almost as if it's rapid onset plague, bubonic plague. They burst into puffs, like just pus boils and sears, writhing. Some fall to the ground laughing, some fall to the ground just crying. Some people fall to the ground and just start punching the ground. So you see a variety of all this, as like it's almost like in World War Z when the zombies were flooding out, but they're as the 20 or 30 people, they run out of the community center around you, fall to the ground, and they have all these weird effects happening to them. Some looks like they're melting right in front of you. Karppi, as the rest of the group begins to run away, you're still on the stairs. You haven't moved yet. What do you want to do?
Well, the first thing I want to do is when I noticed, what's her name, Heather, the sister, looking up, and she's like got that almost blissful face.
Oh, Jake's sister?
Yeah.
You mean Hawthorne's sister?
Yeah.
I think it's Michelle.
Melissa.
It's an M. When
How can you remember her name? Cosmic deities are upon you.
Well, exactly.
Yeah,
Oh, even worse.
Was it Heather? I think it was an M. I think it was an M name.
Even worse, I gave her one of my own sister's names.
Oh,
Which is even better. I love it. That makes it so much better. Keep going.
So when I see this look on her face and she's like, whatever she said, fabulous or whatever, I think that's what she said.
Fascinating.
Fascinating. I want to reach out and strangle this woman because this is all her fault.
Willpower check.
Oh, that's a 91.
You tackle her. You jump and leap, and you tackle her to the ground. Athletics check. Or melee, fighting, whatever you got.
Okay, my fighting brawl is 50, but my strength is 55.
Go fighting brawl. Fighting brawl.
Fighting brawl. Okay. Oh, my dice hate me. 93.
93.
I probably land on my maimed hound or something.
Well, you attempt to tackle her. It is you miss, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Hawthorne, what do you do as you see all of a sudden Karppi spring into action, attempt to tackle your sister? It's obvious she was going for her. What do you shout out and yell as you're going towards her?
Bitch, this is all your fault.
Hawthorne, what do you do?
I feel like this is probably right around that same moment that I had grabbed Melissa's hand to pull her towards the cab.
It's right around the same
which
time.
Contributed to maybe to Karppi missing. And if she's very clearly, well, of course, with what she said too, I'm gonna kind of push Melissa forward, and as Karppi's missing her grab, I'm gonna shoulder check her.
Ooh.
The shoulder check happens upon you, Karppi. What do you think? What do you do?
Oh, I'm gonna pull my gun out. Shoot this guy.
I love intrusive thoughts. They're so great to play with. Oh my goodness. All right, Rebecca, Fender, what are you guys doing as you're seeing this play out? Do we see this?
We saw this play out.
Yeah. You see it play out.
I would do something that Rebecca has not done in many years and would call Detective Karppi by her first name and be like, Henna, wait. What the hell are you doing?
Just as you're saying, Henna, wait, You feel, has anyone ever had an ocular migraine?
Yes, I have had an ocular migraine.
Have you ever had anyone ever gone underwater and had no water getting their nose? You get
Yeah.
that first brain hit?
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel that. And it feels like that in your brain, plus someone dropping weight that you couldn't push off your chest on you. As now, our timer has expired and everyone has to roll who didn't pass their sanity check. Willpower or sanity, as dictated above.
God.
Can we pick which one?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask too.
55.
Well, I think some people have
Well, no.
willpower.
Yeah, I
some
have
people
to, I have to, I have
sanity.
to roll power. You
Yeah.
guys, that's roll.
And I think
Fender
you two
does.
are rolling.
I got a
sanity.
success.
All right, how'd you do? Fender, starting with you.
Success, 55.
Once again, that presence reaches out to you,
We're going to live.
and you hear. Well, you tell me. What does
So
the voice of your father say in your mind?
I kind of imagine as a defense mechanism, Fender has sort of created his own, sort of like his own little, not a mind palace might be too grand a word for it, but his own sort of, mental place that he can be safe. And so essentially what I imagine he's doing is he's sort of moving through halls in this place that's sort of almost like a little maze. And so I think what he's doing is he's trying to close doors behind him and throw bolts, latching it, and then go through another door. So what he hears is this sort of sinister laughter or he associates with sinister anyway, of his father, who always took a weird pleasure in his when things would go his way. And that's sort of what he hears. And he's not sure if he says it out loud or just in his head, but he's like, you're doing this and you're not going to get away with it. Not this time. And he slams the door and slams another door behind him and throws another bolt, takes another turn, opens another door and dashes through that before closing it behind him.
And you hear behind you, why? Cosmos awaits. Shifting on to how'd everybody else do sitting here? Go ahead.
I succeeded as well.
You succeeded?
Yeah.
How do you respond to the ocular migraine, the flash of green, the oppressive weight? It's like someone put a weight vest on your chest immediately, and then it gets removed.
I imagine that as Rebecca is like running towards Fender's cab, which did you get in it, Alex? Did you get in your car, or not yet?
I'm not sure where it is in relation to where we were, so I'm kind of relying on Ricky to let us know when we get there. But we are constantly moving at this point. As far
Give
as
me two D20 rolls.
Okay.
And your number will be the yards that it's away from us.
Oh my god.
Okay. I got an 8 and an 11, so
19 yards. That's a couple strides. You'll be there in a second. No
so
problem.
I imagine that like as Rebecca is well, hold on. So Rebecca was watching the whole freaking thing go down with Karppi, and as this like ocular migraine hits, you see it like if this was a movie, you see the camera kind of go like whoom. And then like you see Rebecca take like a step to steady herself. And then as soon as she does, she like shakes it off and is like, we have to go now. Yeah. And is trying to snap Karppi out of this whatever.
Yeah, and you know how I was talking about how the that 3D cube on a piece of paper shifts its perspective? Yeah, that's how your mind shifts the perspective of the parking lot. So even though it's only how many yards away? 20? 19. It seems like it is a football field away.
Yeah.
It feels like your brain can't stretch along across. So Karppi, you were trying to tackle Hawthorne's sister, right?
Yeah.
Then she pulled a
and
gun
you
on
failed
me.
on it. And she pulled a gun on you. That's right.
Yeah.
All right, let's play that out. Go ahead.
So first of all, when I rolled, if I was testing against my willpower, I would have succeeded. If I was against sanity, I failed.
Okay, you can pick. They're both going to be bad.
Well, I'd like.
Spoiler
Oh, no.
alert. They're both going to be bad.
I want to succeed once, so we'll succeed on the willpower.
Nice.
You,
So proud of you.
before you realize it, your gun's in your hand and you're pointing a loaded gun at someone who may or may not be a danger. You have clarity of mind for this turn. What do you do as you point the gun towards? First of all, Hawthorne, what's your expression as she points the gun towards? Who are you pointing the guns towards? Were you pointing towards her sister? Or Hawthorne?
No, for Hawthorne, because he's
Hawthorne.
the one who
Okay.
Yeah, I
gave me
just
the
shoulder
shoulder.
checked her.
Hawthorne, I need your response of having a gun pointed towards you first.
I look her right in the eyes. If you're gonna do it, do it. It's not the first time I've had a gun pointed at me.
Now you have your back end.
Okay, so I think Hawthorne, what you see is these crazed eyes of Karppi, like literally, like this insane woman is looking at you. She's pointed a gun, and then you can see the sanity come back momentarily in her eyes, and she they just kind of clear a little bit, and she's like, Jesus Christ, I'm so sorry. And she'll put her gun away.
In that moment, when you do the sanity shift, I want to disarm her.
Ooh.
Ooh, let's roll on that. What do you got?
Nice.
What,
Nice.
You got, yeah, melee. What do you got?
Well, and you're gonna have to tell me because I've got the messed up right hand. So,
So do I. And that's what I would be using at this point because I wasn't thinking.
what am I looking for? What am I looking for here? Because I have different.
Brawling.
You can use
Brawling?
fighting brawl or dex. It's I
Yeah.
guess that would be up to
Yeah, they're
the
both
keeper.
interchangeable in this one.
Okay, so my dex is much better than my brawl.
Let's go for
But
that.
you said I was taking a 40-point hit to my dexterity.
You're gonna take a 40-point hit to your dexterity.
Maybe
Well,
I'm-
all right, yeah, if you, yeah, absolutely, because you're using your offhand or you're trying to compensate, and there's all
Would
these other
that
things going on.
affect the brawl number too?
So take whatever that brawl. So take whatever the dexterity number down. If it's a 70, it's now a 30. You have to get under 30 to pass. Think about
I'm
that.
just gonna do it. I mean, that's what it
It's
is.
instinctual.
I'm not
It's
gonna
pull.
try to outwit it. 28, barely succeed.
Wow.
Nice.
Let's
Shit.
tell me, how does that look as you disarm her?
I mean, I'm military trained, which arguably is better than police academy trained. I might be a little biased here, but and I'll say that the first part of the disarm is when she brings the gun up and I see that shift, that I bring my left arm up and sort of smacking her wrist, kind of pushing the gun out and away with the intent to twist and grab the gun, but it turns into just knocking the gun out of her hand and sending it flying because of the major dex cut.
Your response, Karppi, as the gun goes flying out of your hand.
I've still got the sameness, right, at this point. I think
I'll give it to you for. Give me a D4 and we'll go odds or even. You call which one you want, odds or even.
Oh, I rolled already, so you pick.
No, you tell me what you rolled. Well, you tell me a 1. All right, you got sanity for just this one turn.
Okay.
Go.
I know what he was doing and I understand it, and I don't react poorly to him. It's almost like I actually kind of let him disarm me as well with that whole, because it's that whole, you hit the gun, it hit my hand. That's where I'm first noticing it. I let it fall to the ground.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And I'll let him walk away before I go to pick it up and holster it.
There's probably a tense couple seconds where I wait to see what you're gonna do, and when you do nothing, that's when I go after Melissa and kind of putting myself between her and you, continuing to move towards Fender's cap.
Yeah, and as soon as he does move, then I will go retrieve my gun, put it back in the holster, and follow.
Fender and Rebecca, where you guys were? No, Rebecca.
Yeah. So I see this, and kind of as this is happening, Rebecca she saw this kind of like beginning to happen. She saw the football field stretch between her and now where Fender is, and she has given up on Karppi and Steve, and she turns and runs. And she's running still a little bit unsteadily because of the weird, like, migraine-y feeling that's kind of not intense, super intense, but still lingering. And so she runs, and I imagine stumbles a few steps, but eventually gets to Fender's cab.
Quick question: odds or even?
Even.
This is the fucking story of the century. Time-bending reality. Weird stretching things. The universe isn't at all as we imagined it. The only device you have to capture all this is your cell phone. What do you decide to do?
I pull out
as
my
you're
cell phone.
running?
I pull out as I'm running. I'm like feeling like my pockets, and I imagine it's in her back pocket where it usually is. And she feels it and pulls it out, and is like, as she's running, she's like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!" And is like getting the camera open, and like is just trying to capture any and all of this.
Fender, anything as she's scrambling getting her phone?
Muted, Alex.
That's the presence of the cosmic entity upon us all.
Sorry.
Usually it does.
No, so he'll sort of kind of reach back and kind of grab her shirt to sort of pull her along as she's sort of fumbling for this. I'm like, don't even bother, because whatever you manage to record is going to end up, if we manage to get out of here, is going to end up on some conspiracy theorist website, and no one's going to believe it.
But you don't understand. I'm a trusted news source in the community, and people will believe it, and it's important, and you don't understand. I have to document this. And Rebecca has just now opened up the camera, and is now.
I think at this point too, he probably sees what she's doing. Like, she can maybe that's her coping mechanism, to be able to tolerate seeing it through a lens rather than through her eyes. So it's like, yeah, okay, fair enough. That's a good idea. Keep doing that. Let's keep running. And we're still, our legs are still going as we're having this discussion.
Yep.
You ever run away in a dream?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's how it feels.
No.
Yeah.
That's how it feels.
Yeah.
Everybody give me an athletics check. Those who are running, those who are fighting, those who are grabbing guns.
What is that?
I guess it would be strength
on your sheet.
Yeah.
It should be either dexterity. My gaming sheets are getting mixed up in mine. Let's roll dexterity. That's fair. Or there should be a skill set for athletics or stuff like that, or survival, whatever works better for you.
Okay.
I'll be happy with dex.
It's gonna be dex for me as well. Oof.
57 success.
I got a 69. Fail.
All right.
Nice.
I also got a 69.
All right.
Nice. Yeah. What? Just for that,
We're all 12.
I want Steve to roll on the Mythos table, please. Just for
Let's
that
go.
wonderful serendipity.
Nice.
Let's go.
I was gonna say a 69 would normally be a success for me, but because I'm hobbled, that is definitely a fail too. So I roll a 35 on the Mythos table.
All right, a 35 on the Mythos table. Let me reference my sheet here.
The music just shifted to deep
Yes,
bass
it
vocals
did.
too.
Yes.
Who wrote that? Was that Hawthorne?
I did, yes.
Yeah.
Spectacular. As you roll, a young boy descends from the ocean, and it's the first thing to come out of the water, and it walks slowly towards you, and in a moment of time where everyone else is frozen around you. This little boy looks at you and looks at your hand, and he asks, "Does it hurt?"
I think if anybody were able to observe in that moment, I both grow somehow paler, but also seem to shrink a little bit. Almost seem to, for just a moment, you can see through that hard exterior of the ex-soldier and see the kid that had a gun thrust into his hand and was sent halfway around the world to uphold ideals of old white men in suits. And I look at him. Yeah. Hurts like hell.
In the way that you put your American boot on my father's hand when you broke it, and you put the rifle to his head. Does it hurt like that? And before you can answer, the boy fades away in rain mist that goes back into the ocean. Sandy check.
You're welcome.
I got scared for a second. So my D10s have Cthulhu-esque monster on the zeros, and I saw a Cthulhu monster. I rolled a 60, which is way over my current sanity.
Good. But it's good in the way I describe good. You look over at your sister, and she says 2 words to you, and you believe her entirely. Trust me. As you snap back into reality, there is a shift through you as all of the parking lights and all of the street lights in Lawlerville goes off in a moment of absolute darkness. And the last thing you see before the darkness hits is your sister's cell phone light up and her push a button that says finish. And that's where we're going to take our break.
What the fuck?
Did you hear that? You said,
Yes.
And that's where we're going to take our break, and the piano just went dun, 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 dun. I love when that happens. Just the serendipitous music
You've gotten
cues.
really lucky in the last month.
Yeah, this was a
music
list that Ricky put together. It's very telling that it's the Great Cosmic River 3.0. It kept me rework the playlist, but wow.
Damn.
Wow. I was only half joking when I said in our side chat, this is going to be a full 2-hour session of trying to get from the door to the community center to the door to the cab.
Right. Well,
I love it. I love it. All right.
wow.
We're going to take about a 10-minute break. Please stick around. We will see you on the other side.
Our scene closed with the sister pushing the finish button on some undisclosed app on her phone. And as soon as all of the lights flicker out in Lawlerville, the world feels immediately inside of a void, an absolute blackness and darkness, where all anyone can see is one another and the car. Everything else is surrounded in empty space, as if nothing is behind you, above you, below you, left or right. You are in absolute darkness. It's just you all with a surface that you believe is the ground, which you believe is down, and an old taxi car. What do we do?
Get in the car.
I am focusing on the taxi. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm trying really hard not to look up or down, just at the taxi, and just trying to like run like normal, even though the ground isn't really like there anymore. I'm just trying to run towards the cab. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
at
the
the,
cab is like a beacon.
I think at the same time Fender says get in the car, I say the same thing, get in the car.
It sounds like you're talking underwater.
Mm.
Fender, what do you do?
Still moving, still running. As fast as this weird psychedelic darkness will let me.
A presence walks out of the shadow. Fender, you see your father in the darkness. What does he say to you?
He says, "You might make it if you left the others behind. What have they done for you?"
Willpower check. And this is very important that you pass it.
Oh, okay, 48. Yeah, I thought it was 84. Sorry, 48. So that is a success.
Very good. You can use your magic power. I'll give you the choice to siphon psychic energy off of the players around you, or to take a 1d4 hit points to push the image of your father away.
I'll take the hit points.
For that 1d4.
Yep.
Alex is a stand-up guy, everybody. Check out Critical Hit Publishing on drivethroughrpg.com. Great people, great product. Critical Hit Publishing.
Real people, real me. Okay. So I'm imagining this has to manifest physically somehow, right?
Well, we can play with it. We can take whatever you rolled. I'll let you decide if you want to take intelligence points.
I got 3.
3? Hit
Yeah.
points off your health, or however you want to play it. It has to come off of a skill.
I took the health, so
okay. All
right. So what I imagine is like it's probably more like almost like a like an impact trauma, right? Like he tries sort of repudiates him and just tries to shove this aspect of him away, and he just sort of like just bursts, and the impact hits him, and you get that kind of feel that the shockwave just sort of passing through, like you've just been punched by Mike Tyson, and just kind of it's just kind of hits, and he staggers sideways a bit, tries not to lose focus on the cab, and kind of turns that stumble forward into forward momentum as best he can.
Mm-hmm. You do that action hero when they cough a little blood from a mortal wound kind of thing, like and, and just kind of spit it out, and now they're back up to health.
Nice.
As we all are getting into the cab, let's see, we got Hawthorne, Worth, Karppi, Fender. Oh, 5 people, 5 passenger vehicle. It worked out fine this time. Who's sitting where in the car?
Front seat, calling it.
Oh,
Wow.
Well,
To me-
as a Midwestern girl, I cannot repudiate the laws of shotgun.
Shotgun.
So I suppose I sit behind the passenger seat. I want to still be able to like see Fender. He's
Mhm.
like my anchor in this weirdness.
And a
And
quick
keep in
moment
mind,
of-
the back way, this is the 1975 car, so you could probably get 8 people in the back seat.
yeah, right. No seatbelts though,
Just
right?
no
Oh,
seatbelt
yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
No, we're sharing
Or
a
at least
cab.
at least the kind of seatbelts that are like on an airplane that are like way outdated. In a quick moment of like brevity, you're like, Karppi, you call like shotgun as you get in
Fuck
the
you.
front.
And I get in the back. I elbow you a little bit, and then I just get in the back.
You elbow me, I go to hit you.
yeah. I kind of get low, like I'm boxing out, like in basketball. But then I'm like, well, shit, she called shotgun, and I can just get in the back.
Hawthorne, where you at?
If Rebecca Worth is taking the passenger side of the back,
Mm-hmm.
going around to the driver's side and pushing Melissa into the middle.
Mm-hmm.
If Karppi hadn't have gotten called shotgun, I was going to insist that she sit up there anyway, because there's no way she's sitting in the back with Melissa.
Mm.
As you
And I'm
sit
not
in-
sitting in the middle.
Right. You see Melissa and on her cell phone. You see it looks like a star map. And in her star map, she's expanding, contracting. She's not even touching her phone. She's almost moving directions of equations and stuff with her hand, and seems like her eyes too. And you see where this massive equation with all of these variables that don't even make any sense because they're like Greek alphabet letters. They go green when they attach to something, and they relink to something else, and then they connect. And it's happening so fast, your eyes can barely track what she's doing on her cell phone as she's swiping left, swiping right, swiping up, swiping down, looking to one corner of her cell phone, and you see that image kind of like become accentuated and highlight with a green and then push over here. She's doing some high tier science right now.
Rebecca sees this real quick, and she would very like surreptitiously start an audio recording on her
Ooh, what are you
phone,
saying? Let's hear it.
and she would just like start it and just kind of keep it like not like just poking out of her pocket. She wants to make sure that it's all caught, and she would lean over to Melissa and be like, "What are you doing?"
Trying to save the world and humanity.
What app is that for?
Is an app for that?
There's an app for that.
There's an app for that. There's an app for that.
But I am like looking on her phone. I'm like just notably peeking, and I'm just like, how the hell can you do that from your phone?
As she does that, she clicks the button where someone immediately closes and cuts their phone off when they're busted doing something nefarious.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, just try to survive, okay?
That would be a little bit easier if we knew what the fuck was going on. And she would like just turn, and this is like the first time Rebecca's kind of snapped.
I like it. I love it. I love it.
And-
Hawthorne.
Yeah,
Yeah,
full
yeah,
on.
yeah. Go all in, everybody.
Mhm.
So, Fender, you're in the car. You're in the front.
Yeah,
You're
oh,
trying you're gonna get going, and the car starts on the first turn for you. Actually, you know what? Fuck that. Let's do luck check. What
Okay.
am I thinking? I'm being nice. No,
So
absolutely not.
nice.
Okay.
The nicest.
Karppi, what are you thinking as you hear that exchange go by? And Hawthorne, what are you thinking as you hear your sister get yelled at? And Fender, real quick, how'd you do in your luck?
Did not make it.
All right, you gotta try again. So we got another round of this in the car together.
As Fender's trying to crank the car over, I'm doing the lean in. Since I'm behind him, I'm leaning in between the door and the headrest or whatever, and I kind of just put my hand on your shoulder just enough to like get your attention. Bullets. Do you have more ammo? for that 38.
Yeah, he nudges Karppi in the shoulder and points wordlessly to the glove compartment, and continues to turn again.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple of things are going to go through Karppi's mind at this. Number one, she's like, when she hears that I'm saving the world, she's like, hubris on this woman. And then
hubris.
And then we hear Rebecca, lose it, and Karppi's like, fuck yeah, that's my woman. And then Fender's like, give him ammo. Hell no. That is a big nope. Capital N-O-P-E. Nope. That man ain't getting no more ammo.
You say that out loud? What do you
Probably
do?
because I,
Yeah. And we're all intrusive thoughts right now, followed by action. What do you do? Well, yeah, go ahead. Let's do it.
Oh my God, I want to take them and I want to throw them out the window.
There you go. Then that's what we do. You reach towards the ammo as Hawthorne is... What, you getting out of the glove compartment?
Yeah, I think that's where Fender...
Yeah.
Okay. So Hawthorne's reaching in the glove compartment.
There's a box there.
Are you in the back seat?
Hawthorne's in the backseat.
No, I'm in the
Fender...
back seat behind
Oh.
Fender.
And-
He told Karppi to get me
Yeah,
the ammo.
because she was in the front.
So
Oh,
I'll reach
great.
in to get the ammo.
But you say, fuck no. And it's 38 special ammo, which doesn't go into your 9mm. Please issue Glock.
Just to point out, these are crank windows. Does she know how to use a
I'm
crank window?
cranking. Oh,
Yeah, she just made the crank motion.
Yeah. So Hawthorne, you see her cranking the
proud of you
window
guys.
as she's getting the ammo. And going, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna come up over the seat. I mean, this is what year did you say this was?
75.
Oh, there's so much room back here.
Oh yeah.
You guys
I
can
can-
have a full.
I can
you guys have a
lean
full
over the
MMA
seat
fight
without
here.
even stepping on my sister's toes.
Correct.
I'm absolutely coming up, and it's going to be awkward because I have to reach with my left hand and kind of reach over, but I'm going to take a swipe to try to, even if it's just to grab a fistful or get a hold of the box before she can chuck it out the window while she's cranking it out.
Dexterity check. Karppi versus Hawthorne. Let's go. Whoever
Oh,
rolls higher on the first check.
Oh, I rolled a 3.
3.
A
Let's go.
3.
A nat.
Okay.
Oh wow, that's pretty strong.
I just grabbed my skull dice tower. That's how serious I'm taking this roll.
Oh boy, that's how
Here
you
we
know
go.
it's legit.
Here we go. Dice in the eye sockets. I got excited for a minute because one of the dice was a 1. I got a 51.
Oh,
And with my dex is currently at a 30, so I'm just all fumbling and
Yeah, she grabs the ammo. What do you do with it, Karppi?
So my thoughts are to throw it out the window. Unless I have
Give me a willpower
not to.
check.
Yeah. Oh, I failed that.
You throw it out the window. You follow your intrusive thoughts. Hawthorne, what do you do?
But we're not moving yet, so it's just sitting out there on the ground. So
Did you turn your car yet? Did you turn the car
no,
over
he hasn't
yet?
started it
well, no,
yet.
no, I the first time failed.
Try
so
it
they
again.
have to
Let's do it right
I'm
now.
just
Try
saying,
it
I
again.
guess
That's
this
all
is going to
going.
be when the car starts and he slams it down in the drive.
66. No, not yet.
Nope. Okay, we got one more.
He pumps the gas a couple times. You know.
You see
Yep,
the blackness that has surrounded the car. Rain starts to fall as a peak of ocean busts through the dark veil around.
I think I do I slap, since I can't grab, I miss it completely as she chucks the ammo out the window. I do a little bit more than playful. It's definitely not meant to be playful, but it's a frustrated sort of slap on the shoulder as I throw myself back in my seat, and I think the only thing you hear is cunt.
I just all Karppi does is flip you the bird over her shoulder.
But I also am a disciplined soldier, and I know better than to get out of a tactical vehicle, which is how I'm viewing this at the moment. Even if we're not moving, especially with no support or anything like that. So, and given the current situation, I'm assuming if they're out the window, they're in the void.
You hear them fall on the ground. Rain continues to begin to fall as a reek of
I'm gonna make a willpower
black
check.
void opens up. Yeah. Worth, what are you
For
doing?
you.
Rebecca, what are you doing?
Rebecca, sorry, I forgot my last name.
It's okay.
I am sitting in the back seat, disgusted that we've reached this safe haven and we can't get the fucking car started. And I'm just like watching Melissa like a hawk. And I think, does she still have her phone out?
It's up to you. Do you have your phone out?
No, no, not me. I know I have
Melissa.
my phone where my phone is. Does Melissa still
Oh,
have
does
her-
Melissa have a phone out?
Does she have it in her
Oh,
hand?
that's right. That's right. Yeah, but it's all black screen right now.
I know.
What do you do?
I grab it.
She immediately looks at you, and she's going to resist that grabbing.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll.
Listen, all of you, I will turn this car right around.
What am I trying? What am I rolling? What's
Try
the-
turning it over
Everyone's
first.
grabbing and throwing
Dexterity,
shit.
melee, whatever you feel. If you want to punch her in the
Jesus.
face,
Yeah,
whatever you
okay.
Haven't
feel.
even
do.
started on the trip yet, and the kids are fighting in the back seat.
Fender, go ahead
I
and
know.
try again. This isn't a
Ah.
one per.
And
minute.
as he's trying to start the car, I'll say
001.
The car turns over, and you hear the roar of the ignition. You hear. It sounds like a bus starting up with the fan, the engine fan.
Purring like a cat.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's ready to go, and it is. You can feel the energy of the car. The car wants to go on
Now-
some deep molecular level.
I passed my willpower check, which
Yeah.
was the condition was if the car started, I was staying put.
Mhm.
If the car didn't start this time, I was going to make a run for it for the bullets.
Okay.
But so I'm staying
Car
put.
is.
Yeah.
What do you say as you look at over the shoulder of Karppi, threw the bullets out, and we'll get to you, Rebecca Worth, in just a moment. I want to hear Hawthorne's response as the bullets are kind of thrown out. How many bullets? Did you grab a handful? Did you grab the whole box?
Oh, the entire box.
They
Oh,
were
entire box.
they were in a box. Yeah,
Yeah.
they would have been in a box with
I mean, I
with
already said
probably
it.
probably six missing from that were loaded.
I already said it, Ricky. Don't make me say it again.
I want to hear you say it again.
What's
Great feeling this time.
I said
won't
see you
just
next
say it.
Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah. So, and I mean, there's kind of a second lap on what he said the first time as the car turns over. Rebecca, you're gonna do something. Let's go.
I failed. I tried to grab her fucking phone from her and I failed.
And she was like, I don't blame you. You couldn't understand. And she looks at you real deeply and says, you don't even remember.
Remember
As the car turns over,
That's bullshit.
Fender,
Fuck.
where have you guys even figured out where you guys want to go? Where you're going?
Out
Well,
of Lawlerville.
Yeah, he doesn't care at first because it's like he just wants to get moving. So basically, it's just like punch this shit, and he's moving, and moving. Yeah, so he has a. I mean, he's been driving cab in this town for a while, so just his own mental roadmap in his head based on where he is. he's either going to go straight or turn, whatever At least the general direction he knows is probably the closest border to the town.
As you begin
And
to
toward the bridge.
sorry, what, towards the bridge?
And not toward the bridge, no.
Okay.
Not towards the bridge. He said not towards the bridge.
As
Away.
you punch it and you reverse it and then you peel out of the parking lot.
Yep.
The darkness that's all around you kind of breaks, and you can see sections of the city come back into reality. And when that reality comes back in, roads, that you can turn left or right on, also comes the ever presence of that ocean above you that is still lingering and that is there. And at that moment, when the darkness fades and the ocean comes back into scene and the world comes back to as it was, the horrific nightmare, Melissa says to you, fucking broke my concentration. Looking at you, Rebecca.
I don't give a flying fuck about your concentration. I don't give a flying fuck about you or your brother. We're out of here. We're on our way out of town, and everything's gonna be fine now. So you can go fuck right off.
What's everybody else doing in the car? You are pushing. where
Karppi is
from where you're
grinning
driving.
because Rebecca is saying everything she wants to say right now.
Karppi, thank you for bringing the spotlight.
Mind
to you.
meld.
Give me your first intrusive thought at this very moment.
My first intrusive thought was that the phone won't be the only thing that gets broken.
Okay, great. Now, say that out loud.
I don't like it when you say, okay, great. Ever.
Say that out loud. Give me a willpower check.
Oh, it's a 93. I'm just not. I have no will.
I'm gonna knock this bitch out.
So please tell me what happens as you say this and as you begin to follow, your actions follow your intrusive thought.
So it's like I'm saying this and I'm not even really, like, they're just words that I'm saying, but my body is actually turning and I'm going over the seat to this woman whom I'm assuming is sitting in the middle place. And it looks like I'm about to grab her arm or something to literally break it.
Hawthorne, what do you do?
I'm going to grab hold of Karppi and pull her head first down into the space between the back and the front seat. I'm going to use her own momentum against her.
Go ahead and let's do a melee check on both, or brawl, or dexterity, whichever is going to help you the best. Fender, the kids are fighting in the back of the car.
Yeah, I've driven a group of drunk frat boys that were more relaxed than this.
Yeah. They were high.
Hey, do you want to use a Mythos tome? I can help you.
No.
Make that deal. Make that deal, Alex. Yunovich, you make that deal?
So wait, what are you offering again?
Give me a quick, what do you got? Occult power.
Occult, yeah.
Whatever's going to help you the best in this one.
All right, yeah, I got a good occult. See, 27. That is. Would a hard be any benefit to me over a regular?
In this case, it's pretty good. I mean, did you pass?
Oh yeah.
Okay. The pass.
I'm just 2 away from a hard, so I just
Yeah.
might be worth the. I just wonder if it's worth the luck. That's all.
The way you know. Okay. If you ever had to deal with a toddler that was losing their shit in the potato chip aisle of Meyer, like just being a complete terrorist, and you know that with your adult strength you could restrain that child and put that child in its place. That is the power you feel in your mind right now with what's going on in the car. If you choose to use that power, is up to you.
Yeah, I think everyone needs to calm right the fuck down. So he literally like lays on the horn, and this isn't one of these nice little horns they have to like me. This is like,
it's like,
this is oh yeah,
It's like a fog.
terrible.
this rattles your teeth, and he doesn't slam on the brakes to a stop, but he pops the brakes enough where everyone just jerks suddenly. Like
I'm already half over the seat. This is going
right,
to
exactly.
Hawthorne even more.
And he just yells, "Knock it off!" Like
As you yell,
I
"Knock
didn't
it
do
off,"
anything.
Give me your.
I think my nose is broken.
he keeps
Give me your power check. Your magic power or power.
power. 58. So a success.
Success.
Yeah.
All right.
That's power.
Okay. Give me a D4.
Ooh, 1. It's either good or bad.
Reduce your magic power or your power by 1 point.
Oh, okay.
As your psychic will is impressed upon Karppi and Hawthorne. And both of you feel the way when someone lays a lead vest on you before you take an X-ray. You feel that weight on your mind, and for a moment in time, Karppi, your non-intrusive thoughts return to you. What do you say?
I immediately, kind of like this sigh would come out, and she'd slump back into her front seat and stopping going after Melissa. And just kind of mumble under her breath, like, I don't know what's coming over me.
Rebecca, what do you feel as this lead vest that protects you against psychic radiation, or maybe endows you with it?
So Rebecca conversely doesn't feel too much of a shift from where she was. Rebecca, for the first time in this whole scenario, was feeling like there might be some hope. Like, we're on our way out of town. Like, we're doing it. We're in the car. We're, these people can fight all they want, but like, I've got some footage and I've got some recordings and I've got a story, and this is gonna work out. And because of that, like, the lead vest feeling is very much like compounding that feeling of like comfort, and is just like it's almost like Rebecca has been high in her life, and it feels like that. It feels just like supreme, like, kind of relaxation.
Hawthorne.
It's a mix of feeling like a child again, like Dad just yelled at everybody with his dad voice, and everybody listens, but also combined with that physical sensation, I think similar to what Cari described for Rebecca. For Hawthorne, it's actually acts as a form of security, reminding him of the flak jacket that was part of his usual his body armor, his usual battle rattle, as we call it, that was always on whenever he was out and moving around, and it does provide a certain level of security. And as Karppi kind of turns to the front and says, I don't know what came over me, I sort of half-heartedly push at her, completely missing. She's already moved past, and sort of throw myself back. You know how you kind of push yourself into the corner when you're as if you could get away in the backseat of a car, and I just mutter, I don't know what her problem is.
Melissa says, okay, good. Now that everybody's calm, where are we going?
I was thinking we head towards not Lawlerville. And while he's talking, he's actually going to put on his CB radio down under the dash, and he'll set it for channel 9, which is sort of standard emergency channel. The police monitor. They used to anyway. I don't know if they still do today, but that's what he's sort of used to. So he puts it on 9.
You hear
to see if he picks up anything, and he's not going to bother with the regular radio at this point.
You hear a and then
as he's driving, he adjusts the dial to see if he can pick up anything, anything
everyone else. Well, let's all roll on occult. See how we do here.
Oh God. Oh God. No way. Oh.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Not
okay. So I'm just gonna throw it out. My occult score is a 5, and I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1.
Nice.
Spectacular.
My occult score is also a 5, and I roll a 49.
My occult score is also a 5.
Wow.
And I rolled a 21.
Wow.
Mine's a 50, and I rolled a 65, so I didn't get this one.
Wow.
The only one specialized.
But
I did it.
he's also busy. He's just he's still kind of breathing a little heavy after his his
Yeah.
outburst, and
Yeah.
the adrenaline's
yeah.
still,
Mhm.
pumping.
Mhm. Through the static sound, Rebecca Worth, you're the only one that hears the message that is actually being said through the static. And it says, "It is now. It has always been. It will be. It is now. It has been. It will always be. Always be."
You see Rebecca in the back seat kind of like slowly just be like and, like hold her phone closer to like and just is listening and like almost unsure that this is actually what she's hearing. Like nobody else in the car seems to be reacting, so she thinks for a second maybe she's just hearing things.
Because you rolled so well, you look over to Hawthorne's sister, Melissa.
Uh-huh.
She is saying these words as she's mouthing them. You
What does
see
it
her
mean? What does it mean? And Rebecca says that out loud.
And she continues to say the words as the CB radio tunes into that frequency as she is saying it.
Melissa, what does it mean?
She is steadfast. You cannot, if you just keep talking words, she won't respond.
Okay. In my head, I try to communicate with her. What does it mean? Like that's kind of what's just like a news marquee. You just see like, what does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean in Rebecca's head?
And in a slight moment, she looks over to you, and her eyes lose their pupils for a moment in time. You will become what is, like everyone else. And then she goes back to chanting what she's saying over and over and over again.
I lean forward to Steve and I'm like snapping in front of Melissa's face and I'm like, Steve, I think something's wrong with your sister.
There's lots of things wrong with this sister.
As she says that, you feel from your sister earlier, maybe it was 2 hours ago, maybe it was 2 years ago, maybe it was 2 seconds ago, maybe it was 2 minutes ago. But she said, "Trust me."
I think you see from Rebecca's POV as she leans forward and is snapping in her face. I sort of come into view, sort of pushed in the corner there. And I look at Melissa. I just rolled a willpower check.
How'd you do?
I failed it. I say to Rebecca, she said to trust her.
I don't.
And I glance at my sister and I look back at Rebecca. I don't think we can.
What a revelation. I don't think we can trust the crazy person in the back seat. What a shock. Thanks for that, Steve. Fender, get us the fuck out of Lawlerville. If we are not going 150 miles an hour right now, we are going too slow.
Yeah.
Put the pedal to the metal.
And just for the interest of clarity, Fender is not obeying anything like street laws. He's he's not not worrying about that sort of thing.
As Fender, you are speeding and crossing and braking, all the traffic signals are dead. And whatever buildings, as you drive across the city, whether you're driving through side streets or through pedestrian neighborhoods.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically trying to avoid any place that he thinks might because if other people have the idea of getting out of town, He wants to avoid any places where that kind of congestion can happen. So, but again, he knows the back roads, and he knows the little side roads and alleys that people don't know of.
As you drive along, as everyone drives along throughout the city, as Fender is crossing turns and peeling and trying to get out of the city, the citizens of Lawlerville, as you begin to notice, are all floating in the air at different degrees and verticalities, but they're all floating in trance, as some of them drift up into the ocean and disappear away. Others of them are grabbed, what looks like if water could take a form of a tentacle and pull them up into the ocean. And above, well, we'll just say, does anybody follow the track of where these people are flying up into the ocean?
Make sure all the windows are rolled up, people.
Of course
Roll
I
up.
do, because
Like Clark Griswold.
Yes, as
Oh,
one
Yeah,
would.
exactly. Roll them up.
Roll 'em up.
my window is also down because we.
Because intrusive thoughts, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So now I'm sticking my head out the window and go.
I have been told specifically not to look at the sky. So
in the
I'm not.
way that the opening scene of Star Wars, the very first Star Wars, where the Star Destroyer comes slowly in and just drags on forever and ever, almost to Spaceballs level of effect. What you see, Karppi, as you look out the window, is a being of imaginable size and scale. And you see what looks like a giant skyscraper, if a being could be such that. But the view is obfuscated from the waves of the water. And you see what looks to be a broad-shouldered, giant, to the best of your description, octopus head, as it is underneath the waves of this water. And you see it as the people are pulled up into the ocean. And it looks the way a giant shadow looks. It is massive. It almost encompasses the whole ocean. You have to roll some sanity.
I recommend not failing this one.
Yeah, probably am going to, because
Try
it's
your
so
best.
low.
roll good.
Oh my god, I rolled an 88, so that's a fail.
Ooh.
And oh my gosh, you failed hard.
I failed hard.
How many dice is you rolling now?
Oh yeah.
All of them. Roll all your dice.
I want a 2d20 roll. Now, there's the option. We can try to push this roll. It is a 2d20. How do you want to do it?
What do you mean push the roll?
Well,
Try
let's
again.
roll it first,
Okay.
and let's see how we turn out.
Oh my god, I rolled a 20 on one die and a 4 on the other.
A nat 20.
24 sanity. That's
What is your sanity number?
that checks out.
22.
Oh dear.
Do you want to push the roll?
So what does push mean? It means I
You get to
Oh.
try again,
can
but if you
re-roll
fail
it.
again, it's like the
It will
worst
be-
thing ever.
Quite awful.
okay. But if I don't try, then it's quite awful as it is. So
Yeah.
what do I've got to lose, right? Okay,
What
we'll
have
push
you
it.
got to lose?
Do it.
Well,
Yes.
you could take the rest of us with you, maybe. I don't know. That's
That
could be better.
This is totally
Fender.
self-contained.
Fender,
Do it.
do you
Do it.
you see her mind breaking? I will allow you to lend some of your psychic energy if you want to help her.
yeah, because he just knows that if she loses it, it's gonna bleed into the cab.
Mhm.
Plague of madness. And so she's he's gonna he's one hand on the wheel, putting the pedal down, whips it around, and he'll reach over and he'll grab her shoulder, and he'll do sort of the Indiana Jones dad thing. Let it go.
Indiana.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Karppi,
Let it go,
depending on
Kappy.
how you narrate this, how are you tethering
Let it go.
yourself to the world?
Let it go.
I tethering it to?
What are you doing in your mental defenses, whether it be emotional? What are you doing to remind yourself that your life has purpose and meaning in this moment?
So I think maybe I hear those words, let it go. And I'm immediately remember the last things my husband said to me those few days was, let it go. And I didn't listen to him. And we all know what happened. It ended with a flaming barbecue of the man. And
Still
hearing
early.
those words again, it's like, shit, I still have to solve this. I still have my kids. There's still so much to do. I need to let it go. And all these pictures are flashing through my head of those last few days. And that kind of obscures the vision of what I was seeing really, enough that I pull my head back into the car and turn to Fender. I need to let it go.
That was so good. Fender, what is the number you want to give to Karppi?
Like what is my range? Like what am I?
You just tell me a number and I'll pull it off your soul somehow.
Oh my god.
Don't worry, I'll take my pound of flesh as
10.
I see fit. You just tell me a number.
Stick a 24 hit on sanity.
Okay.
Ooh. Ooh.
24 hit, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your sanity, Karppi?
It is currently 22.
There it is. If she goes 24, she is not a playable character. She's all mine.
So do I take the 10 off of the roll?
We will
Is that-
see what
Okay.
the Fender does.
So I rolled the same number, but no nat 20 this time. It just a 14 and a 10. So still
It is
Oh.
fate.
24.
It is the fate.
Math sucks. Oh no.
Oh, she.
Does she look like she's gone?
She is blood coming out of the corners of her eyes.
Is what?
Blood is coming out of the corner of her eyes.
Fuck. Rebecca,
And
take the wheel.
I oh my god, I'm in the back seat.
Yeah.
I lunge up into the front and I like
I keep my feet. I keep one foot on the gas. I lean over, and I'm gonna lean across Karppi while she's in this sort of in between state.
Is this a bench seat in the front?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Can I try to scramble over the seat? And I wanna sit where Fender's sitting. I wanna like let him scooch.
give me a good description.
Okay,
How that
so
looks.
as Fender is like, Rebecca, take the wheel. He keeps his foot on the gas and one hand on the wheel, and Rebecca's like trying to just scramble over this bench seat. It's like, holy shit, and like just is clawing her way up. She grabs the wheel to kind of pull herself over, and like climbs, kind of like whips her legs up and over. And as soon as she does, she almost kicks Fender's foot off of the gas when she's up there. She meant to do it more gently than she did, but she didn't, and she probably gave him a good bruise. And then is like, I got it, and has the wheel now.
So, real quick, Hawthorne, what do you do as you see all this?
There's not much I can do.
Do you look outside?
I think the closest thing I do is, I think as Rebecca goes over the seat, I reach across almost instinctively to Melissa and kind of pull her towards me a little bit, just to kind of keep her out of the way. And I think that's all I can do.
As you reach over towards Melissa and you pull her towards you, she embraces your grabs, your hold, and she looks into your eyes and very deeply says, "You have to trust me." Now, back to Fender. What do you?
Yeah, I basically what I'm doing is I'm reaching the handle of the door to open it, so I can push her out.
Yeet!
You're yeeting her out of the car?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Fuck off, Kaeryn! This has been fun.
That is the opposite of what I thought was going to happen.
You're not giving her you're not helping her out.
From his point of view, he watched, he locked eyes with her. He was trying to help her. He poured half of his sanity into it, and he watched her snap. Like he could almost hear the glass breaking as the blood began to peel from her eyes. Like, oh shit, this is gonna go bad. So his thought is, if she goes ape, we're not gonna survive this. That's his thinking.
And as you begin this motion, you hear your father's voice. Yes, some must be sacrificed. Those who are not strong enough must be given over to the greater will. Those who cannot swim must be given over to the cosmic river. And the door flings open.
And right before that happens, Rebecca's going, "Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And I imagine that's right when the door fucking goes. Oh my god.
Karppi, you are thrown out of the vehicle. How fast are you guys going?
95.
Look, we're going all the speed.
As fast as this car would have gone. Yeah.
Honestly, once Rebecca's behind the wheel, you hear the engine hit another fucking gear.
All right. Go ahead, and you are flung out of the vehicle. You are pushed out of the vehicle. As everyone sees Karppi flies out of the vehicle.
Although, to be fair, and this is entirely up to you, and some of it is guilt. I don't know if she put on her seatbelt.
Ooh.
I mean,
No, because I already reached back and did all of.
Didn't we say the car didn't have seatbelts?
Yeah.
Well, no,
like
it hasn't. They're just the old sort of. There's no middle ones though, but
No.
No,
Okay,
I don't think she would have put it on. And if she had, she would have taken it off so that she could have tried to break.
Okay.
Well, yeah, you were just trying to come over the seat, so you wouldn't have had it on.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, she might have done it then too. Okay.
All right. So, Karppi, do you want?
Sorry.
Yeah. I will give you one choice and one choice only in this matter. We can stay in the car and take the sanity hit, and more things are going to go really bad. You can try to fight being pushed out of it, or I will allow you to be pushed out of the car and you take the damage hit, but instead of rolling 2d20 for sanity, it will be a 1d10 because you did such an excellent description of how you're tethering yourself. Which do you choose?
Oh, I'm going to choose physical damage. I'm going to let myself get flung out.
All right, so give me first let's do the physical damage first. And
Okay.
we're going to do a 1d10, 2 1d10s, and we're going to take the worst one.
Six and a 7.
All right. How many health points do you have?
8.
You were flown out of the car, and you are a mangled mess of bruises and blood all around you. Give me your D10 on sanity check.
A D10? Oh,
One, instead of the 2d20, we're doing a D10 because you grounded yourself so well.
1.
All right. I am upset with that. Very good.
Very disappointing.
Very disappointed. But I guess you're down to 1 point of hit points left.
Yeah.
As you feel your body roll on the concrete with the ocean above, with a giant mass that is almost encompassing the whole cosmic river above you. Hold on 1 second here. Let's go back in time to your first day back on the force from your suspension. As you walk into the police office, how do you feel as you're walking down? People are looking at you, drinking their coffee, they're cops and such. You're walking into.
I feel like they're all giving me that look, like the crazy one. Hey, she's back. God, she's a troublemaker. Blah blah blah. And I've got this defiant look on my face and walk as I'm like coming back because this is where I belong.
First day, you're to report to Lieutenant Mike Stone for your assignment. You're walking down the hallway, and people are giving you that side eye, but you feel like you're $1 million right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
We flash forward back to a scene for a moment where you're on the concrete and you feel this giant presence. It is the woman with the silver hair that was at the community center. And upon looking at her, you see that she's also the one that was actually on the bridge.
Oh.
If Hawthorne was looking back at his rear view, he'd recognize the woman as the one that stepped at his house when his sister was handing him over the deed. But it's just you right now because the car is traveling down the road without you as you're kicked out, and the door kind of slams shut as it continues on. We're back to our flashback as you're walking through the police office and you're walking toward Lieutenant Stone and you overhear a conversation. Lieutenant Stone is talking to someone else in the room, and you overhear them saying, "She's seen too much. They killed her husband. I'm gonna assign her to you as your new partner to keep an eye on her. We all know what happened. You and I know what happened in this town. We all know what's going on. She's close to figuring it out. You gotta keep an eye on her. The world can't know what's going on here." And as you open the door, Brock Johnson looks at you. And you hear him say, you look at his mouth, and the camera kind of zooms in his cocky face, and he goes, "Ah." And as he's saying, "Fuck you," the camera pans back to his face as you go back to present time. You see these tracer bullets start zipping into the darkness and into the woman that is standing in front of you. And you look over and you see Brock saying, "Fuck you!" And he's on top of a altered conversion van pulling the triggers of a 50 caliber machine gun, and his teeth are baring. He's and that's what we're gonna do for the night.
Oh my God! Yes.
That's
yes.
Oh my god.
So good.
How is it that Dwight's not even here and he gets epic character moments?
Damn it! Hope he's fucking happy. Somebody
Oh
text him.
man.
I'm really sorry I pushed you to your almost death.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I've been hovering my finger over the death overlay just in case.
Oh, just in case. We gotta wait for confirmation.
I have been hovering over this background.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let's go.
Meat,
if
It's
that's
just
nice.
meat. I love it.
I don't even remember if I turned them on. Okay, I did. Just in
Wow.
case. They're there.
There you go.
Wow.
I mean,
Episode 4, the Cosmic
my
River.
thing was I lost half of my sanity in that one hit, and
Ooh.
once she failed, it was just like there was just no way he could keep her in
No.
the car. Like
No.
he already knew that was
She has a gun and a lot of bullets. No, that was the right choice. Damn.
I mean, you didn't hear any arguments from Steve.
I mean, seriously, I couldn't argue either. So.
That bitch was cray.
I like
like,
the idea that the last sight of Karppi is going, yeah, this is probably fine. As she's going towards the pavement.
like
Yeah,
So
I
did-
understand.
Steve's in the backseat doing the Willy Wonka thing. Stop! Don't come back.
No. What are you doing?
My last thought is I would have yeeted me too.
Don't do it. Please.
Stop.
Oh,
Rebecca, stop. You have to go back. Oh, she didn't hear me.
Oh no!
Oh, man.
Oh,
Thank
my
you
God.
all. I
Ricky,
really appreciate it.
Ricky, that is
That's
just
great.
some next level.
Man,
Just,
incredible.
it's like
Incredible.
you, because I know the effort you put into selecting the music for the background
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like you're conducting a symphony of horror.
Oh, thank you.
You're moving.
You
You
I
move,
tried.
You move these beats. I've made this joke before. I don't remember if I made it
Yeah.
on air, but when we play Pathfinder or we play D&D and you're a character, you're like, which die do I roll? Which weapon is that?
Yeah.
What is this? When you're in the driver's seat for Call of Cthulhu,
Yeah.
there's never any question. You're like in your comfort zone, and
Oh,
you're
thank
just
you.
like, grab 2d10s, do this, roll 3d20s. It's been 11 days since this, 6 days
Yeah.
since this.
That was so
You're
smooth.
just on fire, and I just find myself, and I can see everybody else's faces. We're just like this the whole time. If I wasn't in the game, I would be sitting here with popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, and I can't, but thank you all. I really appreciate you all.
God,
You guys,
dude,
I mean, you
incredible.
guys are the story. I'm just giving the beats, and you guys are doing everything else. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
It's been a blast.
Oh,
and a
no,
half,
it's fun.
dude.
This has been great. Thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. Thank you if you're watching later on the VOD, which you can catch the VODs of all of our games over on youtube.com/mini-terrain domain. If you're somebody that was lurking along with us all during the game silently in the chat, we appreciate you all the same too. And of course, a huge thank you to everybody here on screen who makes the game happen. Thank you to Kaeryn and Alex and Cari, myself, and though he wasn't here, he was here in spirit, Dwight, and of course Ricky, because without all of us, this would just be Ricky horrifying himself for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
With that, we're gonna go ahead and end this stream the same way we end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want. Mitchell.
Ta-ta-da!